Welcome to another training video from the Chariot Group. My name is Bob Jackman, and today we're going to talk about using and creating themes in Smart Notebook. So first thing we want to talk about really quick is themes are similar to what you'd expect in, like, say, PowerPoint, but in Smart Notebook, you can find them in the gallery. There's pre-made themes. So if I click on the gallery up here, and in the Gallery Essentials, if I come down to Backgrounds and Themes and open that up by clicking it, the themes you're going to notice do not have a page curl around them. If you come down, scroll down a little bit, here is a background. Notice how there's a page curl on the bottom right. So that's how you can distinguish between a background and a theme. Okay? And so a theme includes two things. It includes a background, but also a default font. And when you apply themes, you can apply them to several pages at the same time, whereas a background you can only apply to one page at a time. So let me demonstrate that. What I'm going to do is clone this page. So now I've got two. On this second page, I'm going to come back and I'm going to take this sun rays theme and I'm going to drag it onto the page and let go. And when I do this, it gives me a couple of options. It basically is asking me what pages I want to put this theme on. All of them, all the pages in the current group. I'm just going to go with the current page only just to show you what it does. Now, as I said before, the theme is a background and a default font. So you're going to notice on here the background changes, but also all of the text. See, all the text changed to be the default font for the theme. So it's a little bit smaller, it's a different font, and it's a different size. And so all of that got changed with the theme. Now, one thing to be aware of, if I hit undo, so I'm going to come up here, click undo. Notice when I undo, the background changed back. The text changed back to the correct font. It also changed back to the correct color, but it did not change back to the correct size. So be careful applying themes to existing things because it's going to change all of your text. And when you do that and change all of your text, you're going to it's not something that you can undo. So here's what we can do is you can actually create your own themes based on what you want. And so here I've got a page. It's just going to be a blank page. I'm just going to put a nice little kind of logo at the bottom to be kind of fun. But I want this all to be background. So right now I can move all these things around. So all I'm going to do is add to the page anything you want on the page. I also like to have on my page something that kind of shows me where the bottom of the page is, because I want to know where to stop creating content so it'll fit nicely on a full screen page. So one thing you can do here, if you come up to view, come down here to full screen page border, I'm going to put on the full screen page border for 4:3. So if you've got a standard like 680 or 880 smartboard, that's the one you want to use if it's not widescreen. If you've got a widescreen smartboard, like say a 685 or an 885 that's widescreen with a projector, you're probably going to go with the 1610. If you've got one of the new flat panel displays, you're going to go with the 16:9, or if you happen to have a 690 with the appropriate projector, you'll choose that. And what this does, let me click on this, and I'm going to extend this page. What that does is it puts a blue line where the bottom of the page is going to be, meaning that if my resolution settings are set correctly, when I go full screen on my smartboard, that's going to be the bottom of the smartboard, so it'll fit the screen perfectly. Okay, so I want to make sure everything's above that line, which it is. So that's everything I want on there. So I'm going to come up here to Format, Theme, and I'm going to do Create New Theme from Page, because I've already got my page set up. If I wanted to start with a blank page and then add to it, I could do Create New Theme that way, but I don't like to do it that way. So I'm going to do Create New Theme from this page. And notice how everything's there. I can still move it around if I want to. This theme text style right here is very important. What you want to do is select it. Don't double click it to edit it, but just select it. Whatever that font, size, and color is, that is going to be the default font for your theme. Meaning that if I apply that theme and I start typing text, that's what the text is going to be. Or if I apply that theme to an existing page, that's what the text will be changed to. So that makes sure that that is set to what you want it to be. I like Century Gothic 36. Then the next thing I need to do is give my theme a name. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to give it Bob's Cool Theme. And then once I've got a theme name, I'm going to come down here to the bottom and I'm going to click on this save right down here. And when I do that, now it takes me back to my original page, and that throws some teachers off because all this stuff is still movable. So what I'm going to do now is get a new page, new blank page. Now if I come into my content, come down to backgrounds and themes, you'll notice this new Bob's Cool theme is there. And if I drag this onto the page, of course it's going to ask me, and so I'm going to choose this page only, click OK, and notice how I can no longer select. All of this stuff is now background. So that is how you'll create and use a theme. And that just basically what you're doing is putting a bunch of things on the page that you want to just be background. Okay, and that's really helpful. Really quickly, let me show you another way that you can utilize a theme. So let's come to this example here. Here I've got a nice example of an activity that I'm going to do as a theme. So one thing I'm going to add here is a spot for the student to write their name. Excellent. So now I've got this. This is all on the page. So I'm going to come up again to create my theme. I click Format, Theme, Create New Theme from Page. Okay, everything's the way I want it to be. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to change this to treble clef. Come down here to the bottom and click Save. And that saves it into my gallery here. So let me get a new page. Okay, so here I have a brand new file, completely empty. I've just got one page. I'm going to go into my gallery, go down to my themes, my content, themes, and I have this treble clef one that we just created. I'm going to drag this out, and I'm going to insert the theme on all pages. And so what that does is that throws in, I'll show you I've got one page here, and that puts that theme on this page. And notice all of this stuff is background. So now what can happen is we can have a student come up, they can write their name, and then they can go through and do the activity. So if we're just writing over the activity, we're not actually moving anything around, we're just drawing over it, we're adding to it. Ooh, these are really bad. Okay, so we go through and we do the activity. Well, now the next student's going to come up. So all I have to do is hit next page, and it's going to insert, again, because that theme is going to be on every page that's added. So what that allows me to do is create an activity where the students are going to draw on it or add to it, and we can then create a theme out of that, and every student can then come up, write their name, do this activity, and then the next person can come up to and just put new page. So that's another way that you can utilize a theme. So in conclusion, that's how you create and utilize a theme within your classroom. Very simple process. Next time we're going to show you a little bit more of what you can do with those themes and turning them into templates. Hope you enjoyed this lesson.